Can ICE do this? Can federal agents do what they're doing? The short answer is no, and I'm going to go through your rights and how things work or are supposed to work under our Constitution and federal laws in this update. I'm Ari Melber, a lawyer, a news reporter, TV news anchor, and I'm going to try to go through this very clearly and then talk about why, of course, so much of this is in doubt as the Trump administration quite actively tries to physically deny people their rights, including the use of force and violence, and then lie on people who've been even killed by the government. So in part two, I'll get to those specifics, but part one is the big picture, and I'm going to go through your rights. And some skeptics would say, but wait, what good are these rights if they're tested or sometimes violated? And the fact is, across all of human history, the expansion of rights has involved a lot of struggle, protests, sometimes the government cracking down and using violence, but in the long run, it is the establishment and the protection of rights that has helped secure them in many places. The United States has had many problems with this. So I'm going to do the rights first. You have the right, of course, to remain silent. That means if you are dealing with the federal or local police, federal agents, ICE, you name it, you don't have to talk to them or respond to questions. It can feel like you do if you are pushed to provide information or pressed for information, ask questions about others or yourself, but you have the right to remain silent. That's kind of the most famous one, I think, because of all the TV shows and pop culture, quite frankly. It's your Miranda rights, which date all the way back to 1966. You have the right to remain silent. It's such an important right that that decision told all law enforcement, federal or local, that they have to remind people of that when they're put under arrest. But before or after a potential arrest, you do not have to answer questions. You can just stay silent. You can say, I'm exercising my right to remain silent. If you are under arrest, and this brings us to another right, you could say lawyer, basically saying I want my lawyer, which I'm entitled to. I'm not going to speak without them. Number two, you don't have to stay in any detention or situation unless you are put under arrest. So the short way to think about that, and ICE and other agents have been testing this though, is you can just say, if there's any confusion, am I free to leave? Am I free to walk away? And if they say yes or nothing, meaning if you're not told to stay, you can then peacefully, quietly walk away. And there are times where establishing that and walking away is important for you, and if people are videoing or there's a record of that or a body camera, it also shows. Not that you're trying to escalate or make problems, but you might want to exercise your right to leave and not be detained. If, of course, an officer acting under the color of law says, no, you have to stay, then you should comply with that right. Nothing I'm saying is formal legal advice. We haven't met. But any lawyer is going to give you general advice to generally, of course, try to comply with officers and follow